Hi guys, today we will tell you about most interesting game announces of the past week. Enjoy! White Shadows is a modern fable, a distorted mirror of our own world. Funny, fucked up, and a little meaningful. Some time ago, the Great War led to a plague which wiped almost all living things from the face of the earth. Or so they say. Nobody is safe outside the White City, and the birds are to blame for the plague. Or so they say. Only a shining coat of fresh white color will protect you from the plague, and you must earn your ration of color by staying obedient. Or so they say. But Ravengirl stopped listening. Main features of the game are: meaningful story, a story that is dark yet funny, gripping and relevant to players' lives today. Narrative gameplay experience, simple but deep interactions drive the story forward. Cinematic style, a unique and highly detailed visual style made of shadows and light. This fable comes alive, a fully formed world with masses of pigs and sheep and birds, with scheming rats and wolf overlords and helpless little chiclets. A call to revolt. Are you ready to change the fate of the last city on Earth and its inhabitants? Ghostrunner is a hardcore first-person slasher packed with lightning-fast action. Set in a grim, cyberpunk megastructure. Climb Dharma Tower, humanity's last shelter, after a world-ending cataclysm. Make your way up from the bottom to the top. Confront the tyrannical Keymaster, and take your revenge. The streets of this tower city are full of violence. Mara the Keymaster rules with an iron fist and little regard for human life. As resources diminish, the strong prey on the weak and chaos threatens to consume what little order remains. The decisive last stand is coming. A final attempt to set things right before mankind goes over the edge of extinction. As the most advanced blade fighter ever created, you're always outnumbered but never outclassed. Slice your enemies with a monomolecular katana, dodge bullets with your superhuman reflexes, and employ a variety of specialized techniques to prevail. One-hit one-kill mechanics make combat fast and intense. Use your superior mobility to engage in a never-ending dance with death fearlessly. Ghostrunner offers a unique single-player experience, fast-paced, violent combat, and an original setting that blends science fiction with post-apocalyptic themes. It tells the story of a world that has already ended and its inhabitants who fight to survive. Naser, Son of Man is a cover-based 2D shooter game that happens in the alternative history of 1875, when Queen Elizabeth II is the Queen of England. She discovers a way to conquer the whole world with an army of robots, but after the victorious world domination, she encounters the land of Persia, and its retard king they call Naser. Which I think is the stupidest name to pick for an idiot like him. However, guess what? He is the main hero and playable character of this game. Anyways, there is a magical crystal over the Empire of Persia that makes the whole region untouchable by any force. But what happens when the crystal gets stolen? What happens when there is only one person to save the world? What happens if that one person can't do shit without God? The most important character of this story, like any other story, is God, the almighty and omnipotent, who has an active role in the gameplay to help the playable character. Ain't that shit revolutionary or something? In Naser, Son of Man, you fight against all sort of robot enemies. You have to take cover and shoot tactically with the right weapon. The hand of God comes down from the sky to help you attack or defend throughout the game. Naser and God talk a lot in this game, and God is always right. Right. What does that little mustached puppet know? It's all me. I'm the real hero, the almighty God, but forget it. Serious Sam 4 reignites the classic FPS series in a high-powered prequel loaded with an explosive arsenal, intergalactic carnage, and perfectly timed one-liners. Humanity is under siege as the full force of Mental's hordes spread across the world, ravaging what remains of a broken and beaten civilization. The last remaining resistance to the invasion is the Earth Defense Force led by Sam, Sirius, Stone and his heavily armed squad of misfit commandos. Croteam returns with a high-powered prequel to the Serious Sam series that scales up chaos to unprecedented levels. The classic Serious Sam formula is revamped by putting an unstoppable arsenal up against an unimaginable number of enemies. That requires players to circle, strafe and backpedal blast their way out of impossible situations. The iconic cast of alien invaders returns with some new reinforcements. Fight your way through unbelievable numbers of Mental's minions, including the iconic Headless Kamikaze, Beheaded Rocketeer, Clear, Scrapjack, Werebull, and Kanoom. Square off against brand new enemies and towering monsters like the frantic Processed, repulsive Belcher, the hard-hitting Zealot, and more. Armed with a slew of devastating weapons, pick your tool for any situation. Lay waste to Mental's horde using the powerful double-barreled shotgun, the punishing minigun, the powerful chainsaw launcher, a brand new auto shotgun, and the iconic cannon. Upgrade your toys, and enjoy the violent beauty of the lock-on rocket launcher, and the mighty laser beam of death. Smash through the action-packed campaign with friends in 4-player online co-op mode. Tackle exciting primary missions and thrilling side quests in modified difficulties for an extra challenge. Serious Sam 4 unleashes some of the biggest moments in the series' history with the new Legion system and battlefields teeming with thousands of enemies. Destroy, absorb, grow. Grime is a fast and unforgiving action-adventure RPG, in which you crush your foes with living weapons that mutate form and function, and then consume their remains with a black hole to strengthen your vessel as you break apart a world of anatomical horror and intrigue. An unusual material collapses in on itself, the world shudders and contracts, and suddenly you are squeezed into existence. What awaits you is a world unknown, alien in its own familiarity, and you must survive what terrors you face. Explore your surreal surroundings, absorb the many enemies you encounter, and use their own traits against them as you let yourself become far more than you once were. Grime lets you play to your preference, upgrading only those traits you feel most suited to your unique style. You'll find there is more than one way to break open an enemy as you move through a variety of evocative environments, meet their inhabitants, and discover the source of their madness. Eye-popping surrealism, uncover mysterious secrets in weeping caves and face-covered deserts. Meet otherworldly characters in distinct civilizations across an organic, interconnected world, all rendered in unearthly 3D. Face foes born of the world itself, and swallow them whole. Death-defying combat. Punish enemies by parrying their attacks, smash them from the ground or even airborne, and absorb them to grow your strength as you wage war on a living world. Living weapons. Seamlessly swap weapons made of living creatures that mutate form during combat, from clawing swords to centipede whips. Unique skill progression. Hunt down and absorb challenging monsters to improve your skills and bring true customization to your playstyle. Challenge menacing bosses. Battle against creatures dozens of times your size. Adapt to their strategies, withstand their assault, and consume them to gain game-changing abilities that affect both combat and traversal. Explore themes of retrofuturism, transhumanism, and grief in Paradise Lost, an emotion-driven post-apoc story. Discover the mystery of the underground city hidden in an abandoned Nazi bunker, where Slavic mythology mixes with unusual technology. In this alternate version of World War II, the war persisted for 20 more years only to end in flames when the Nazis launched nuclear missiles on most of Europe. In the aftermath, the heart of Europe remains shrouded in the mystery of complete destruction and deadly radiation, inaccessible to the rest of the world. You are Szymon, a 12-year-old survivor, wandering the barren, nuclear wasteland of Poland, struggling to process your grief and searching for hope when you come across a massive, abandoned Nazi bunker. Descend into the retrofuturistic bunker where advanced, industrial technology is intertwined with mysterious, Slavic pagan imagery and explore the underground city hidden within. Make decisions that will shape your future as you work to uncover the story hiding in the shadows of the past. In discovering the fate of the bunker's inhabitants, what will you discover about yourself? Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition completes the celebration of one of the most beloved real-time strategy franchises with remastered graphics and music, all previously released expansions and brand new content to enjoy for the very first time. Command mighty civilizations from across Europe and the Americas, or jump to the battlefields of Asia in stunning 4K Ultra HD graphics, and with a fully remastered soundtrack. Now featuring 2 new game modes, historical battles and the Art of War challenge missions, including all previously released expansions and all 14 civilizations. Plus 2 brand new civilizations, the Swedes and Inca. Head online to challenge other players with updated online multiplayer with cross-network play. And enjoy modern gaming features, including spectator modes and mod support. Complete your collection with this final chapter in the Age of Empires Definitive Edition journey. The year is 2084. The future has turned out much darker than anyone could imagine. First, there was the nanophage. A digital plague that killed thousands upon thousands of those who chose to augment their minds and bodies. Then came the war, leaving both the West and the East decimated and shattered. With no one left to seize power, corporations took over and forged their own crooked empires. You are a tool of corporate oppression. Feared and despised, you hack into the darkest corners of your suspects' minds. You creep into their dreams, expose their fears, and extract whatever your investigation may require. You are an observer. Using a device known as the Dream Eater, hack into the minds of the dead and dying to relive their final moments, to explore their fears and obsessions. Delve into these twisted neural mazes and search for clues that will help you find the elusive killer. But beware, the deeper you go, the greater the risk of losing your own sanity. Enter a world ravaged by war and cyber plague, where life is cheap and hope is scarce. Where most people will do anything to escape their grim existence. Virtual realities, mind-altering drugs, neural implants, pick your poison and drift away into a blissful oblivion. But remember, no matter how deep you go, you can never hide from an observer. Death of Rose is the first chapter of a unique experience that introduces Beth and Scott to a chilling adventure in a mysterious abandoned high school. The history of a place is told through the peeling plaster on the wall, fleeting phantoms, and the carcasses left behind. Scott lives to keep a record of long-abandoned buildings while searching for proof of the paranormal. Along for the journey is Beth, Scott's longtime companion and best friend. This first chapter of Scott and Beth's tale brings them to an abandoned school allegedly known as a place of worship for a deranged cult. The unsettling rumors that surround the school make Beth stay in the car while Scott goes in alone to investigate. Beth's voice over the radio becomes Scott's only guide as he searches the dark, empty halls and classrooms of this long-forgotten place for clues of the rumored cult activity. When suddenly, the old legend becomes much more real than either of them expected. Will Scott be able to survive and unravel the dark secret that school hides? Or will his blood-chilling adventure strip him of those closest to him and his sanity? Features of the game are a unique narrative experience that goes beyond the tropes of the horror genre. An intricate multi-layered story set in a long-abandoned school full of dark mysteries to unveil and complex puzzles to solve. Interactive dialogues that will let you shape the relationship between the characters and uncover the revelations that haunt each of their lives. Experience a uniquely nostalgic soundtrack and demented sound design that engulf you in Scott's journey. F.I.S.T. Forged in Shadow Torch is a Metroidvania action game featuring exploration, intense combat and challenging platforming. 6 years ago, the Machine Legion invaded and colonized the Torch City, which was originally inhabited by animals. Raiden, the former soldier in the Resistance War, has been living in seclusion since then. After his friend is forcibly arrested, Raiden reclaims his mechanical fist and steps to his journey fighting back. And he never expects that he has been involved in a bigger scheme between the Mafia, the Rebellion, and the Legion. Sophisticated and interconnected game map with countless secrets. Exploring the Metroidvania game world with a dozen of areas with distinguishing vision themes and level designs. Earning the rewards by conquering the challenges of combats, puzzles and platformers in countless chambers, tunnels and shortcuts. Interconnected and automatically loading game map makes the detailed Torch City more convincing and beautiful. Arcade-styled combat system with 3 unique weapons. Mastering the fist, the drill and the whip, depending on the situation of the battlefield. Switch your advantages between the long hits, the high damage and the wide range, taking every enemy standing in front of you down. Dozens of enemies wielding their unique weapons challenge you with exquisite cooperation tactics, and various bosses with totally different combat patterns provides you never repeated experience. Well, that's all my friends. Subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss the latest gaming industry news, freebies, and discounts on games.